occurrence. So I'm hoping it goes well. If it doesn't, then I'm never doing another Saturday live again. However, I just finished my gym workout. I don't usually work out on Saturday. This week I got a little sick. It was a rough week, but I didn't want to let the days pass. So then I make it up on Saturday. I'm back in the gym, right? Okay, I'm just fixing my hair. My bad, my bad. But I'm back out here, back live. YouTube has been going pretty quickly. And so I'm really excited about that. I was on a boat party. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but I am still a little sick. I just finished my workout. So if you see me looking all, you know what I'm saying? That's because I just came from the gym. Okay. But you just put that, boom, there you go. I went to a boat party Thursday. Boat party was great, fantastic. And here's one thing I realized about the boat party. One, so I'm in Suriname and I'm partying with a lot of students, people. Oh, wow, there's an iguana over there. Actually, there's two. Oh, that's crazy. There's a boat party, and I'm partying, and I'm getting to know a lot of students, people who are, they come out here for a master's program. So these are juniors, seniors, almost doctors, some of them. So some of them are 22, 23, and then some of them are obviously 26, 25 years old. Okay. And so then I'm partying with these guys, and then I have a few friends that are 28, 20, 29, 30, my age. And so as I'm getting to party with these guys, I'm recognizing there are different groups of people. There's one group of people that, of course, they're students. Their parents are funding everything, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. That's what I want to do for my kids. Not to fund everything, but of course, to be a parent that my kids can turn to, right? Of course. But then there are also people who they're working and putting themselves through school. Now, those people have a bigger respect for money, right? Oh, what's up? Aiden. What's up, Aiden? Where are you watching from, Aiden? Tell me where you're watching from. Welcome in to join. I was telling my story about a boat party I was on and the different types of people. There are people who have parents that fund them, that give them money for everything that they want. There are people who are actually working to put themselves through school. And then there are people who can't necessarily afford to be where everybody else is, but they're still there because they know good people, they have good connections. And I wanted to know, you know, if you have which category you're in, because there are people around you that will fall into all three categories. Parents, they're self-funded, or they just can't they can't afford to be there. I was on the boat party. I paid my way in. It's no problem. So I'm one of those people. I'm not funded by a parent. I got it by myself. USA. Okay. Where? What state? So I lived in Jersey. I'm from Jamaica, but I lived in Jersey. So if you're close to Jersey, that'd be pretty cool. We have a couple of people here from the US sometimes. We have people from Seattle. In fact, we have people from all over the world. From Jersey, from New York, from California, from Miami, from Washington. We have a couple of people here that come in from Arkansas sometimes. People obviously watch from England, from Australia, from New Zealand, from Saudi Arabia, I had somebody from South Korea one time. So it's really cool what happens here. But yeah, which state are you watching from, Aiden? Aiden, we're waiting on you, Aiden. Which state are you watching from, Aiden? And I also want to come out here and you can. Oh, by the way, um, I do this to prove that this is not a green screen. Let me go. Some people want to say a lot of things, and yes, I am barefoot because I left my shoes by the pool so that nobody would steal my seat. But yeah, what state are you watching from? What state? You're in the USA, Aiden, but what state? And if you come in, tell me where you're watching from, please. We have somebody from the US. I want to know where you guys are watching from. All right, so I think one of the interesting things, right? You're from Jersey. Oh shoot, that's crazy. You're my Jersey brother. All right, cool. All right, and you are more than welcome to be a part of this community now because we know what Jersey is. We know what it's like to go on the Garden State Parkway. We know what that's like. We know what the 80 is like. We know what 280 is like. You know what exit you come off on the Garden State Parkway. You know all that. So, we're brothers right there, right? And you know that even though people from Manhattan or Queens or Bronx don't want to admit it, living in Jersey is better. I don't know. It's fine. But there's a beef going on there, and honestly, I'm on Jersey side. So there you go. Across the lake, across the river, we're the better people. Across the Hudson, surfs up. All right. Yo, right now, yo, it's actually crazy. There's never been an easier time to make bunch of money. And then what we have is people are just not taking advantage of the internet. I mean, look, I'm right here. You guys are all, where are you guys watching from? Right? Anywhere in the world that you guys are watching from, I can reach you. Do you know how hard it was for someone? I'm laying in bed in the apartment right now. Okay, cool. I'm retired, so then I go live every day. You maybe not know this, but I'll just introduce myself to you, just in case you just joined us for the first time. Um, I'm retired, and so then I go live. I connect with people, I talk with people, I give advice sometimes, and we come on, we have a good time, we laugh and stuff. But I do want people, even though while we're having fun and we're making jokes and we're cracking up and we're talking about things, it's important that people recognize that what I did, it's possible for everybody right now because you have the internet. You can get onto TikTok, you can get onto social media, you can get onto Amazon, you can get onto Airbnb. Oh, so many things that you can do with your cell phone. You know what I'm saying? So then hopefully during this live you get some ideas that will inspire you to actually take action. You feel what I'm saying? I really like New Jersey. Yeah. I feel you, brother. All right, boom. There we go. Damn, it's hot. All right, there we go. All right. Let me do this. All right. Guys, put your show a video, yeah, and then I just subscribe. Okay, bet. That's good. You see what I'm saying? Welcome in. Con- you know, you're now with the community. So congratulations, bro. You're with us. We're locked in for life. Every time I go live, I'll shout you out, Aiden. Every time I see you, I'll give you a shout out. And we have a couple of regulars. I'm not sure if any regulars in here yet, but as I said, I've been going live every day since February. You see what I'm saying? So we're developing this community because we have something special that's going on right now. I'll tell you this, Aiden. We actually just hit 1,000 subscribers 2 months ago. 2 months ago, and right now we're at almost 3,300, I think. So we're going pretty fast, right? In 2 months, right? And I've been a YouTuber. I've been going. Hey, what's up? I've been doing YouTube since what, 2020? We've just been going faster and faster. Or just people. Hey, what's happening? What's happening? Say hi to the people. So you're like a what? I'm an entrepreneur. That's a YouTuber. But I think more and more, as more people start to recognize the power of content and community and people, more people are going to create content so that they can reach more people. 10,000 subscribers, I am literally on my way there. And I'm trying my best. Bro, do you need a professional video editor? Why? You want a partner? You want to set something up? Oh, let me show you these people over here. So they're going to look at the boardwalk. Right. As I said, I'm at the hotel, obviously. And I told you about I left my shoes at the pool, so I don't have my shoes on right now. So yeah. Usually it's quiet over here where I am. It's like a garden and it overlooks the Suriname River, which is pretty cool. Do I need a video editor? If you're gonna set something up for me, then talk to me. What's up? What's up with it? Okay, very good. Yeah, if you're gonna set something up for me, then tell me. If you're good at editing videos, writing one, but I don't know where you are. You don't know where I am. I am currently in Suriname, having a great time. I've been here since January. I've been going live every day, every weekday. Even though today is a weekday, I'll come back to that. But I've been going live every weekday since February. The reason why is that I realized that in order to build this community, I actually do need to go live and talk to you guys, right? And so if I'm going to go live and talk to you guys, then we get to develop and have a better relationship. And so then that's what we've been doing, right? And I think it's better that way because they get to meet you from all over the world and actually have somewhat of a, what do you say, a relationship, right? Because that's what we're here to build, right? I don't just want you guys to feel like numbers. I do want to know you guys by name, right? So then I know where some of you guys are from. I know that you guys are like, some people are into anime, some people are in relationships, some people are married, some people, I'm getting to know you guys. And so that's what makes a really strong community by me knowing each of you, right? So that's what I'm trying to do. I don't want to be one of those creators that doesn't know you guys, right? I see you exploring. I'm not going to lie, that sounds kind of good right now. Do you drink a lot of stuff there or eat a lot of stuff there? Because I remember I went there. Oh, okay. Um, so yeah, I've been traveling since 2023 consistently. Before that, I actually started traveling the US in 2019, and then I went to 38 states. So I've been to a lot of places. And then I started traveling South America in 2023. Uh, I haven't been back since 2023. And so that's been really fun. Before this, I was in Brazil. Before that, I really did. Before that, I was in before Brazil, I was in, damn, where was I before Brazil? Uruguay, I think. Yeah, I was in Uruguay, and then before that, I was in Argentina. Can I speak Hindi? I cannot. However, traveling, the number one lesson I've learned from traveling is that people are more alike than we like to think. Everybody, like, for example, a couple of people just passed me and everybody's taking pictures. Doesn't matter what race, doesn't matter what language, everybody's taking pictures. Everybody's with their family. Everybody is, with someone that they can share memories with. Everybody wants to laugh. Everybody wants to feel good. We all feel sad sometimes. We all feel depressed sometimes. And so that makes it really that we're all pretty similar. Doesn't matter what language, we all feel these similar things. Are you into anime? Because I'm not. I don't really watch anime that much. I just found some anime and watch it. Only scary ones. Ha ha ha. Um, I I like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Avatar: The Last Airbender is my favorite show of all time. I think there's no greater show, better. There's no better show than Avatar: The Last Airbender. Anime or cartoon or whatever you want to call it. Avatar: The Last Airbender is the greatest show of all time. Let me tell you, Avatar: The Last Airbender is such a good show that the lessons that you learn from Avatar: The Last Airbender, it teaches you about betrayal. It teaches you about changing from bad to good. Right, Zuko, his entire arc was an entire 4 seasons. That character development is crazy, right? And then he had to find a new way to fuel himself because he lost his ability. So then he was fueled by anger, and so many of us are fueled by anger. But then he had to be fueled by love or care or something else and positivity because he couldn't go on being fueled by anger. It made him physically sick. That's really powerful. Another lesson that you learn from Avatar is imperialism, right? It's when bigger countries try to take over smaller ones. That's a very big lesson. And that's being taught to people who are, 6, 7, 8, 10 years old. That's when I started watching. And so think about that. That kind of lesson that the bigger guy, and you can think about who that might be today. Think of countries like China and the US and Russia trying to take over a smaller one. And then what eventually happens is that the smaller people come together, band together, and say, you know what, I've had enough. And it takes one person to say, you know what, the Fire Nation, which is the enemy in the show, is not all that. And we're going to take over and we're going to have peace reign. Always it happens through society. That one person comes along and says, we don't want to be under control anymore, and we're going to change everything. And then it leads to a war, and then the world is reset, or the countries are reset. Happens every time. And so that's a really powerful lesson. And it will repeat again and again. Think about what's happening in the world right now. Yes, to your question, Varun, I am. Mine is not. Mine is, I'm not going to even try to spell this out because name Beast of Hood Life sounds like very cultured and they cost a lot. I am Varun. If you want, I do edit my videos by myself, um, which is interesting. My videos are pretty much uncut, so I don't really have a lot of editing in my videos. I'm sure you've watched my videos; they're not that editing. Hey, Maribel. Hey, how you feeling? Where you watching from? Tell me where you're watching from. We have a couple of people here. Somebody watching from the US. If you're from the US, tell me what state. If you're from outside the US, tell me what country. Uh, let's find out where you guys are watching from. Okay, so Dirty Regular Show coming. UK. Oh shoot, nice. That's what's up. We're in the UK. Maybe I might know where you're watching from. I actually really like the UK accent. So yeah. Shout out to the UK. Shout out to you. What's going on in London right now? I've heard London is not such a great place to be, the city. Sword, I have no idea where that is. I have no idea where that is. But what's going on with London? I've heard not so good things about London. It's not so great. Um, yeah, I've heard that people are getting robbed and petty crime is at an all-time high. People are getting stabbed in London. I don't know what's going on there. But you guys should try that out, man, because at one point in the world, London was the center of the world, like how New York City is right now, or what Hong Kong is becoming. That used to be London. So, yeah. Do I like the country India? I've never been to India, but let me say this. Even though I've never been to India, one day I will go, but I don't think I'll enjoy it as much as other people think. Reason why is there are a lot of people in India, especially in the major cities. And I'm not someone that likes to be next to a lot of people. You understand what I'm saying? And so if there are a lot of people in the major cities and like for example taking the train, you have people sweating on you and stuff, I can't handle that. So I'm not going to I don't think I'm going to enjoy that much. If I were to when I do go to India, if I were to find somewhere that is like the countryside and I don't have to talk to a lot of people and I can explore some waterfalls and maybe pet some goats, that would be amazing. And I think I'd do that rather than go to Mumbai or anything like that. That's what I would do. I hope that makes sense. How many? I don't know what you're asking about how many, but I would love to answer your question. So recap your question. A new year because of one of my friends' names Aiden show me gets his advice. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out here. Okay, what are you trying to figure out? What anime? You trying to figure out what anime to watch? Because I'm the wrong person to ask for that. How many people? How many people in India? Oh, um, I think it's 1.2 billion people. 1.2 billion people are in India alone. It's crazy. Just in India, one country. Yeah, that's too many. Conversely, um, the USA has 380 million people. That's a third of the amount of people, right? That's still just too many people. Suriname has 600,000 people. There's like nobody here, right? So there's no crowd. There's no crowd anywhere. I mean, there's some traffic, but there's no crowd, right? You can walk. You can. It's very peaceful. How the hell did you get so rich in such in a slow amount of time? Okay, Aiden, if you want to ask me questions, then go ahead, bro. That's why I'm live. Okay, cool. Um, Let me answer your question. Okay, so for one, I'll tell you my story real quick. So, how did I make money? In the first instance, one, I knew that I didn't want a job. A job wasn't going to get me rich fast. So then I had to get into one of the big three: real estate, business, or investments. That's what I had to get into. Okay, that's the first thing. So then when I was a teenager, at 15, I decided that I wanted to retire early before I was 30. So then I needed money, so I had to find a job. But while I had a job, I was starting businesses. I started every business that I could possibly get my hands on. I was a photographer. I taught music. I did website design. I did carpet cleaning. I did house painting. What else did I do? I started a social media page, right? Did everything I could think of, everything. And then I failed at a couple. And then eventually I found property management. I was so I got to college and I was staying in a bedroom that I could not afford. I moved out of that bedroom and put that bedroom on Airbnb. And that's when I realized, oh, I could actually make money by renting places that aren't mine. But then eventually, using all of the applications, Airbnb, VRBO, direct booking, Facebook Marketplace, what actually ended up happening is that I took over that home and I was making money, more money staying home than my professors made college. So I was making money while I was a sophomore. Then fast forward, I said, okay, what if I could take over other people's homes? Then I started to do that. I moved from one bedroom to one house to two houses to five houses to 10 houses. And eventually I got to about 20 something houses, which is where I am right now. And so then they manage themselves and et cetera, et cetera. And so then now I make a lot of money. Um, and people are, I have teams at each of these properties and they're managing it really, really well. So then that's how I was able to make some money in a small amount of time. And then using that real estate money, of course, I was able to take that money and put it into stocks, into crypto, and other things. You don't just keep your money in one place. That's when you diversify. So there you go. How much money? Ha ha ha. That's a it's a very Fed question. Seven figures, I'll tell you that. But a Fed, you must be the Fed. I'm not answering that question. Are you crazy? Let me tell you something. Giving him advice all the time, he just wants me to go with him by his YouTube. That's where I got my name from. Which one is the best? Which one was the best? What do you mean? Oh, which business was the best? Okay, that's a great question. Obviously, real estate was the best for me. I tried YouTube automation. I tried Amazon FBA. I tried a Shopify store at one point. I also wrote a book. I'm an author. I have two books right now. One of them is a bestseller. I'm writing my third book, so I haven't published that yet, but it's almost pretty much done, actually. Um, but yeah, these are a bunch of stuff that I've done, and just trying everything to make as much money as possible. And that was my goal, just to make as much money as possible in a way that could sustain itself. And so then in America, it's so easy to get your hands on capital. It's so easy to get your hands on a bunch of money because credit cards are so widely accessible. But most people take credit cards and they buy shoes or vacations. I don't do that. I take credit cards, I take loans, and then I use that to start businesses. I use the bank's money to buy stuff that makes me money. And then so that's a very simple process. And I teach people how to do this. I'm not selling you anything. That's what I'm doing. But I'm just saying that it's very doable and it's especially easy in the US. So easy. I don't know why more people don't do that. Told me that because you're daily, maybe I can pop up even with the guy and do short. So I'm typing. This is really bad. um, honestly, I'm not entirely sure what you're saying, Aiden. I'd love to answer your questions, but it's hard to read what you're typing. So please be a little bit more clear, brother. Or type in shorter sentences so that you don't fumble the entire paragraph. You see what I'm saying? All right, but anyway, that's how I was able to make a lot of money in a short time. I started at 15, and by the time it took me 7 years from the time I was 15 to actually retire. And then once I realized that I could retire, I waited maybe another year before I actually announced it. So there you go. Took me 7 years. I gave myself 15. I did it in half the time. So hopefully you can take that and do with it what you will. How old am I? Right now I'm 26, not yet 30. So you can do the math on the timelines. So I've been retired for a few years now. It's been fantastic. Ironically, and I talk about this on my social media, right? What happens is that people think that retirement is doing nothing. And I maybe did nothing for 2 months. It's the most boring thing that you can ever do in life. To do absolutely nothing. Super boring. You just get up, you go to the gym. What else do you do? You eat food. There's not much to do. It doesn't give you a challenge. Working on something that you like to do is actually way more fun. And so then now I love working on social media. I love going live. This for me is so thrilling to see the growth here. By the way, please subscribe. This is so thrilling to see the growth here and to connect with people and uh, to help people to make more money, right? That really does give me more fulfillment than just traveling the world because then now I get to feel like I have a purpose and I have a role to play in other people's lives rather than just fulfilling my own desires. Right. And I think it becomes very selfish if you just travel and talk to any nobody. I think that becomes very selfish. And I think there's no person who is 60 and 70 years old who's retired who just does nothing. They're involved in HOA, right? Which is they're taking care of their community. They're teaching their grandkids something. They have something to work on that gives them purpose. And if you retire at 20 something years old, then what are you going to do for the rest of your life? Nothing? 60 years of doing nothing? Absolutely not. So then, for example, one of my goals is to do stand-up comedy when I hit 30. It's a few years from now, but stand-up comedy is one of those things that I want to do, for example. Let me be real. I got my name from my friend named Aiden. Okay, cool. That's fine. I got you, Aiden. You got your name from my friend of Aiden. That's very cool. Maribel, what is the best way to make money if you're in high school? That's a great question. Let me answer that question. One, if you are in high school, one of the best ways to make money is to enter businesses that use your time. For example, YouTube is one of the best ways that you can make money today. Now, how most people think about YouTube is that you have to come on and show your face. Don't do that. What you can do is learn how to find B-roll footage and tell great stories. For example, there are so many top five channels that take top five sports clips, top five comedians, top five, etc., etc. And they're posting top five videos, top seven, top 13, top 10, top three, whatever, top four. And they're doing these videos and they're just taking clips from other people. And they're maybe commenting on it so it makes it original. They do a voiceover on other people's content, or they're doing animation on that content. But this makes it original content. You don't have to sit in front of a camera like me. You don't need to develop that skill. What you need to do is develop the skill of staying consistent. Because some of your favorite channels on YouTube, they're owned by someone whose face you have never seen. And then that's one of the things that I would do. Second, you can also do the same thing on TikTok. If you know how to go viral on TikTok, then go viral, take other people's content, make it your own. So again, clipping, green screening, doing maybe a compilation. You use these videos, you put the product to TikTok shop in your link underneath the video so then people can buy. And then you also invite other creators, give them a portion of the sales that they make if they use your affiliate code. You can do all of this in TikTok. Now, Amazon allows you to sell on TikTok. You can do that and you can get rich using TikTok. So I just gave you two. I'll give you one more. Pinterest. If you start pinning on Pinterest and you are making a lot of views, you set up Pinterest, set up a website. So then you're going to do, for example, 13 ways to clear your acne in 30 days. Remember, Pinterest is mostly women. So you're going to be selling to women. 30 days, clear face. Set up a blog post. When people click on your page, on your pin, they're going to go to the blog page. All those 13 ways are going to have a product under each of those. That's affiliate link. That's affiliate marketing. So then you're getting paid every time someone clicks on those links and buys. But then you're also going to set up Google Ads. So you're going to go to Google AdSense. So then every time someone clicks onto your link, even if they don't go onto buy one of those. If they click on any one of those ads, you also get paid. So then now all you need to figure out is how to get 1 million impressions from Pinterest over to your website. Once you have this website, it will make money automatically because then you can hire someone to post 6 times a day on your Pinterest for $20 a day. But you're making hundreds or if not thousands. There's so many people who do this. I just gave you 3 plays for free. You can run any of those from high school. You're welcome. Hopefully that helps you. What is the best way? Okay, let's do that. I got to go. One of my friends named who? Okay, you're calling me. All right, no problem, Aiden. Peace out. Hey, Saul, how you doing? Where you watching from, Saul? That sounds like a very Middle East name. Saul. I know nobody from the U.S. named Saul. Where you watching from, Saul? It sounds like you're from Northern Africa or you're from Eastern Europe. Sounds very Eastern Europe or Northern Africa. I'm gonna guess I'm right. Tell me I'm right, Saul, if you're still here. Tell me where you're watching from. Can playing a game work? Yeah, but you have to think about percentage. That's the problem. Like, for example, if you make it to the NFL, you can make a lot of money. If you make it to the NBA, you can make a lot of money. Okay? But what is the percentage of people making it to the NBA? Less than 1%. Versus what is the success rate of people who get into real estate? 90%. 90% of people in real estate make money. Okay? Which means that if you are going to go for being in the top 1% of something or just being in the top 90%, you'd much rather be in the top 90% because that's so much easier. You see what I'm saying? Why would you not want to be in the top 90%? So then playing a video game, it's so hard for you to make money. First of all, you have to go through hours and hours and hours, and you have to hopefully make money from a competition after maybe 10 years of playing that game better than anybody else in the world. That's very hard. You know what 10th place gets in the world? Nothing. For video games, you get nothing. You know, if you're 50th place on that video game, what do you get? Nothing. But if I'm 50th place in real estate, you know what I'm getting? Millions of dollars. If I'm a thousandth place in real estate, you know what I'm getting? Millions of dollars. So then I hope that helps answer your question. I want to stack the probabilities in my favor that I will be successful. If only a few people make money, I don't want to be there because that's too hard. Look how many people make money from the stock market. I'll give you this. What most people think, if, for example, in day trading, only about maybe 10 to 20% of traders make money. Okay. However, in the stock market, over the course of 10 years, if you hold stocks for more than 10 years, 99% of stocks make money. Over 15 years, 100% of stocks make money. Not 100% of stocks. The S&P 500 has never lost money over a 15-year period. So then, all I need to do is figure out how can I invest and invest and invest and invest more and more and more and more money for over 15 years. That will absolutely guarantee that I make money. Why can't you do that? Same thing with Bitcoin. There has not been a period of 4 years that Bitcoin has lost money. So then all I want to do is figure out how can I stack as much Bitcoin as possible over the next 2 decades and make a lot of money. This is how you get rich by using probability. Yes, you can make money playing a game. Yes, you can make money playing in the NFL. But what's the probability that you do? All right, I hope that helps you. I'm going to make sure that you subscribe. If there are no more questions, then I'm going to get off this live. But if I see another question coming, I'll answer it. Unless somebody else comes in. What if you stream the games on YouTube? Yeah, but everybody does that, right? Unless you're going to be original. Okay, so let me say this. One, you should absolutely do that. If you are playing games and streaming on YouTube, your chances of making money are higher. So then, if that's what you want to do, become the best at it. But don't just stream and think that people are going to watch. No, you actually do have to have some type of plan, some type of strategy. Kai Cenat, the reason why he's popular is not because he's just Kai Cenat, he comes on the top. Nobody wants to listen to Kai Cenat like that. He comes on, he invites celebrities, he does activities, he does games. So that if you're going to stream, you have to have something that's different. You're wearing a costume, you're telling jokes, right? You have someone that comes on and make a podcast, you talk about the news. You have to have something that's a second or third or even fourth element to what you're doing. You have to study the people who are really good at that. Look at T-Pain. He makes money, but he's T-Pain. So then he comes on with all the celebrities, and people are listening because he's just T-Pain. You are not T-Pain. So then if you actually do want to make a lot of money, you have to have a strategy. Don't just think you're gonna go on and it's gonna be easy. You're not gonna make money, and no one's gonna watch you if it's just you. But if you spend time, spend a month or two developing a strategy and studying what other people are doing, and then you will make money. I promise you. So then, yes, absolutely. If you want to start streaming, go for it because that can make you a lot of money. I hope that answers your question, brother. All right, I'm gonna get going. Peace out, people. It's 35 minutes, and I want to go to the pool. All right, peace out, guys.